Okay, hey everybody, these are the numbers we're doing this evening. 1, 2, 4, 9, 10, 11, 13 is your challenge question, and 14. Looking at number 1, I'm using two types of resources this evening. The one that we did in class. So some look different from others because I have 3 different versions. So it's this one right here. And then you're also using your reference. I flipped it over because this is the same thing. Just open it up. One side is customary, the other is metric. I just folded it in half so that you'll have that. And so I wrote down that I have 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So going from large to small, I multiply by 100. If I'm going small to large, I'm going to divide by 100. Looking at my chart, I am going small. Here's my centi. I'm at small. Can you see it on both of those? And I'm going to large. Remember, large is on the left. So I'm moving it 2 times because I'm going to the meter, which is 1. That's divided by 10 and then divided by 10 again, which gives me the divided by 100. I'm moving the decimal, so my imaginary decimal is going to reappear itself, and it's going here, and I'm going to move it to the left 2 times. So that makes it 3 5/10, or 3.5. Now remember, there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter stick. So if you have 1 meter stick, that's already 100 centimeters. If you have 2 meter sticks, that's 200 centimeters. And if you have 3, and I can draw this out, 1 meter stick, that's 100 centimeters. If I have another meter stick, that's another 100 centimeters. And I have 350 centimeters. There's another meter stick for the 100 centimeters. So right now I have 1, 2, 3 holes, 3 meter sticks. And the last one, I'm only going to have 50. So that makes it 3.5 or 3 5/10. Okay, moving on to the next problem. And that is on problem number 2. So we've done that one. Problem 2, I have milliliters and liters. Let's look over here. Milliliters and liters. This is under the subtitle volume and capacity. So I know that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. All right, I'm going to move over to my sheet here. If I had my liters, I'm moving over to milli because that's the smallest. I'm going I'm going to be dividing. So I'm dividing because I'm going from small to large. So I'm moving it over, divided by 110, divided by 2 tens, and divided by 3 tens. So this is going to be divided by that 1,000 because 10 times 10 times 10, these are the powers. So this would be 10 to the 3rd power would be 1,000. So this is here going from large to small, multiply from small to large. I'm going to divide it by that 1,000. So here I'm milliliters to liters. So I've got my 4,000. Remember that we said when we're going from small to large, you're going to move the decimal to the left because I'm dividing. Because I'm going to make that number smaller. Okay, so I have 4,000 milliliters, and I'm moving it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10. So my decimal's now here, so it's going to be 4 liters. Make sure that you pause the video to replay so that you can better understand. Okay, number 4, I have 9 meters, and then I have millimeters. So I'm coming over to, so I don't know why that's there, my resource reference sheet, and I'm looking for my meters and my millimeters. So here I have meters, and then here is the millimeters. So before I do anything, I got to go from meters to centimeters. So I'm going to multiply that by 100. And then I'm going to go to centimeters to millimeters and multiply that by 10. Looking at my paper, I'm at meters and I need to go to millimeters. So I'm going to jump, that's times 10. That's 1 time. Jump 2, that's times 10. Jump 3, that's times 10. So I'm going to move my decimal 3 times to the right because I'm multiplying it. So here I know that there's going to be 1 meter is equal to, again, we had it, it's 100 centimeters. So if I have, and I'm moving this, I'm going to multiply because I'm going to go to the smallest, large to small. So I have my 9. My decimal is always to the right of the ones place. So I'm going to let it appear. I have 2 zeros that I'm going to add in, and I need it to move it over 1, 2. So then it makes it 900. Now I need to change my centimeters to, this is centimeters to millimeters. So I know that there's 1 centimeter that's equal to 10 millimeters. So remember, I'm going from large to small, so I'm multiplying that by 10. So now I am taking my 900, my imaginary decimal is now appearing. I only have 1 0. I'm adding that in and I'm moving it 1. Oops, sorry about that. Here's my decimal. I'm moving it over 1 time. So now my number is going to equal to 9,000 millimeters. Little tiny rascals, right? Looking at over here, remember we said we were going to move the decimal 1, 2. That's 10 times 10 is 100. And then times 10, that's the power of 10. So it's 1, 2, 3. So I moved it 3 times. So if I had my 9 here, it makes it, adding the 3 zeros to it. So it makes it 9,000. All right, now the next one. So we've done 2, 4. Let's go to number 9. I have 20 grams, and I'm going to change it to kilograms. So I'm coming over here to my reference sheet, going to the weight and mass subtitle. I see my kilograms to grams. So for every 1 kilogram, it's going to equal 1,000 grams because a kilogram is a larger quantity. So here I have for every 1 kilogram, it's going to equal to 1,000 grams. Okay. So now it's like, which one do I want to change? Well, I can do my kilograms and change those into grams so I can move it in this direction. If I have 2 hundredths of a kilogram, I'm going to move my decimal looking at my sheet here. Here's my kilo, and I need to go to grams, which is here. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 places to the left. I mean, to the right. I got myself confused. 1, 2, 3 to the right because I'm going from large to small. So if I have, okay, and then I'm moving to the right. And so I said that I have to add 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. So let's move that decimal. And we said it was going to be 1, 2, 3. So my 0 is here. I know that any 0 before the 2 is not going to change the value. So 2 hundredths kilograms is equal to 20 grams. So this makes it equal. The next one is number 10. I have 1 liter is equal to how many milliliters? So let's go ahead and take my reference sheet, and I have a liter, milliliters. So I'm going to the volume and capacity subtitle, and I'm going to find that here. So 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So for number 10, I'm going to go ahead and I can change liters. I can do it this way, change liters to milliliters. So I'm going to multiply by 1,000, which means I'm going to move this to the right, 1, 2, 3. So here, if I have 52, my imaginary line, or decimal, I don't know why I said line, but my decimal is here. I'm going to add my 3 zeros. Now I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3, and that becomes 52,000 milliliters. So this is greater because I can change that to 52,000 milliliters. If you wanted to, you could have changed this to liters. And if you did, you're moving the decimal in the opposite direction because it's going to the left 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, and it would be 5 2/10 liters if you chose that. Okay. All right. And we have number 11 that we're working on here. We have meters and centimeters. So here for my 1 meter, it's 100 centimeters. So for every 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. And I always like the meters and the centimeters because I think of the meter stick I have in front of the room and that there's 100 centimeters in there. So let's see what this one is. If I have 14 meters, is that equal to 140 centimeters? So I can go from meters to centimeters by multiplying by 100. So if I change this one here, I'm going to move it to the right because looking at my picture here, I have, did I just cover that up? Yeah, I sure did. Meters to centimeters, it's 1, 2. I'm moving it to the right twice. So here I had 14. I'm going to add 2 zeros, and it's 1, 2, and that's going to be 1,400 centimeters. So then it's going to be greater than. The next one is 13. Is 25 milligrams lighter or heavier than 25 centigrams? All right, well, I'm going to just look at my chart here. We know that centigrams are heavier than milligrams because millis tiny and the numbers are the same. So I have 25 milligrams, which is the smallest or the lightest, and then versus 25 centigrams, which is a little heavier than the milligrams. So if I want it to convert, and I can do this, the centigrams to milligrams, and right now I can already tell, what do you know, which one's going to be, because they're the same numbers. And which one would be lighter? Yeah, you can have 25 feathers and then 25 pencils. Which ones weigh the most? The 25 pencils, right? Not the 25 feathers. That's a way of thinking about it like that. So the 25 milligrams weigh lighter than the 25 centigrams. If you wanted to convert that over, you could, but just looking at our chart, if we're going from the largest one, the largest unit, to the smallest unit, we know that the centigram is larger than the milligram because the milligram is the smallest, tiniest unit. So you can just see it like that. All right, now the last problem, number 14. Lucy and Donovan, I'm going to move this up here, measured the length of the school garden. Lucy's measurement is 11 and 3/10 meters, and Donovan's measurement is 113 centimeters. Could both be correct. Okay, so let's figure it out. I have Lucy, it's 11 and 3/10 meters. And then I have Donovan, which is 113 centimeters. So we're going from meters to centimeters. I'm going from meters to centimeters. So I'm going to move it over twice. So if I have going from meters to centimeters, so this will be 11 and 3/10, and I moved it twice. So it's 1, 2. That means, isn't that really wonderful? You could have looked at your conversion chart. We're going to do that in a second. So this means that it'll be 1,130 centimeters, and that's going to be greater than 113 centimeters. So could they both be correct? No. Lucy has I should put Lucy's measurement is more. So if you didn't want to use your chart here where you can just move it over, and I know I'm moving to the right, 1, 2. So that meant I had to add in the zeros, 2 zeros for the 100, 1, 2. If you didn't want to do that, then you're looking over here on your resource or your reference sheet, and I have meters, centimeters, and that's equal to 100, and I know I'm going to multiply by 100. So this is going to be 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, and it's times 100. Okay, and you could have done it that way. All right, that was it for tonight. Big shout out to Amarai in the Block 1 Math. Hey, Amarai, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow. You guys have a great evening. Let me know if you're going to want a shout out. See you. Bye.